Greetings and salutations, Dave Duford here. I'm here with Evan McGuffey, a good friend in the business today, to talk about MediZues, a new service that you Medicare agents out there really need to take a listen to and pay attention to. So I'm going to have Evan, first I'll introduce himself and tell us a little bit more about MediZues. How you doing today, Evan?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic, David. Thank you for having me on. I'll give you guys just a high-level overview of what MediZeus does, and then we can dive into the details. Essentially, MediZeus lets you, the agent, know that your client signed up for a different MAPD right when they sign up for it. So within 12 hours of that new enrollment being approved by CMS. Normally, I'm a Medicare agent and have over 600 clients on the books. I've been doing Medicare for 2 years now, and David was the life insurance side of the FMO that we're at. And so that's how we came into knowing each other. But, for me, I was very successful, still am. I have tons of clients on the books, and a couple of them just called me this morning. We've done really well with Medicare sales. Now we have to do really well with Medicare retention. So right now, if somebody signs up for a different plan, let's say they're my Humana client and they get signed up, however, for United Healthcare, I don't find out that they left my book of business until the second or the third day of the next month, right? Let's just say today's October 2nd. So I won't find out until November 2nd or 3rd if I check my book of business, my back office portal with, Humana. Well, at that point in time, it's too late to contact that beneficiary. So, David, if you're my client, I legally can't reach out to you after you've already disenrolled. But in reality, David, you had enrolled in a new plan at some point in the month. And so I'm saying to myself, dude, there's got to be some sort of software out there that'll tell me, or at least allow me to figure out if anybody's leaving at the end of the month. Because you have, so many days, depending on if, David, you signed a new application on the 10th or the 15th or the 20th or the 25th, there's some period of time where I can give you a call before you've already left. Well, I couldn't find that software, so I had to build it. And we got an API approved with CMS. So we do direct Medicare eligibility checks. And not only do I see what plan you have right now, David, I see all of my Medicare client, plans, my entire book of business. And then I see, okay, this person's disenrolling at the end of the month. And I can also see the future plan that you signed up for.
Oh,
So
really?
not only do I
Wow.
know,
Okay.
yeah. So not only do I know, David, that I signed you up for Humana, last year, but I also know what plan you're going to next month.
Wow. Yeah. So, I know you asked me here to ask you why is this valuable, but unless you're brand new to Medicare, I can understand, and we'll reiterate that in a second. But this is game changing because if you're getting replaced out there, which all of us do, you don't find out till months later, and then it's compliantly not capable of being able to contact. This changes everything. It's just like being back in the life business, right? You get a notification when the business is missed payment right away, but even better, who it was replaced with, so you have the ammunition to come back in and maybe reposition, help the client see why we didn't do this plan and why you need this plan instead. This is really incredible.
Yeah, yeah. And so what happens sometimes, I've seen this not all the time, but it happens, is one of my clients, they get signed up and they don't realize that they're leaving. That happens. Or they
Right.
get signed up for a plan that might have a lot of really additional benefits. It might suit them well in like 5 areas, but there's one sixth area where certain drug isn't covered. So it's good for your clients to know, hey, my agent isn't gonna let me go to another plan that could hurt me, right? If you've been satisfied with a plan for 3 months, 3 years, however long, it's not necessarily advantageous to change that plan, especially for something that could not be in your formulary, or a doctor can't be in your network, or there's some sort of other benefit that you as a beneficiary aren't aware of. So,
Do you have any preliminary numbers on how this has practically helped agents? Like, I'm sure you've
yeah,
done some testing of it. Like, what are some case studies you could share with us as far as this helping?
yeah. So I've been working on this for a year, and just so you know, David, and for everybody out there, I didn't code it. I don't know how to code, but I know how to design it, and I know how to work with developers. And Jesus Christ, that was a nightmare to get to get a
Yes,
developer that was
that's
certified.
yeah,
Yeah, to get a
totally
developer,
understand.
one, to find like a developer that has integrity and doesn't offshore all of their sub development, right? Because I don't like
Yeah.
Okay, I won't say I don't like to work with people offshore, but listen, made in USA is always better.
Right.
That's how I'll put that. And the other thing is that they have to be high-tech certified, and then we have to get HIPAA compliant as MediZues, a company, and we're going under a SOC 2 audit right now with penetration tests. It's a 3-month audit, excuse me, will be done in January, just so everybody can feel at rest knowing that their data is safe if they share their clients' MBIs and date of births with us. But going back to it, yes, I do have testimonials from myself, from a couple other agents that are case studies, and I'll share them here. The reason that I mentioned all the compliancy stuff is we've been working on this for a year, but the first time that I ran the software was a year ago, and we just got it ready to run the prototype December 8th, which was the last day of AEP last year. So this was December 8th, 2022. I ran it, and then Ethan ran it. He saved 12 people that week and more later on. I think he saved, I don't know, he had 36 people leaving that AEP, and I know he grabbed 12 of them that week. I saved 8 people the first week that I ran it.
Wow.
But we've been working on this for a year, and there was some downtime where I'm just being all fidgety, and I'm like, I'm chopping up. I'm like, I'm ready to do this thing. I know how to put it all together. We just need to get approved by CMS for the API. We just need to get approved here, legal here, a lot of red tape. So I'm saying to myself, I need to be able to show agents what retention actually means for their bottom line, right?
Yeah.
Like, I need to show agents how much money this is going to save them. And I need to show agencies how much money this is going to save them. So I'm looking around online, David, and I'm like, I got to find a calculator, some way to demonstrate this visually. So I couldn't find it. So I built it. All right. So let me share my screen.
Perfect.
All right. So this is MediZues.com. You come in here and you go to LTV calculators. Right. Now, David, not to put you on the spot, but do you know what LTV stands for?
Lifetime value.
You got it. All right. In the banking world, they use LTV as loan to value, but in sales, we use as lifetime value. And all that means is the amount of money that a company, in this case, you as a Medicare agent, any company is going to make over the lifetime of their customer. So, my lifetime value with Amazon is the amount of money that I'll spend with Amazon over my entire lifetime, which is probably going to be like $200,000, $300,000 because I buy everything off of Amazon. With my lifetime value with Chipotle is the amount of money that I'm going to spend at Chipotle over my entire lifetime, which will probably be another 100,000, 150, whatever. I get there a lot. So anyway, so as an agent, you have to understand that just because you sign somebody up for a Medicare plan and you're going to get paid $25 every month, it's not like you're going to get paid $25 forever. I mean, your client's going to die or they're going to get switched. And so I want to demonstrate here with this LTV calculator how much money, one, you could make as an agent, but two, if you already have people on the books, how much it's going to look like over the next 5, 10 years based off your current persistency. So let's just use some simple numbers here. We got your annual production, 100. That just means you wrote 100 Medicare Advantage plans that year. Your persistency, let's just put it, okay, as 84%. And I'll show you why in a second. Let's just put it at 84. So what that means is that you have 100 clients on the books. After 1 year, you have 84 because 16 left. All right. And we hit calculate. In green here, commission per MA plan, it's always 301. And your true MA production is 84. Like I mentioned, you wrote 100, but you really only got paid on 84 of them because 16 of them left. Your lifetime value per MA is 1348. So I know that if I sign somebody up for a Medicare Advantage plan, on average, over the course of them being my client, I'm gonna get paid 1348. Now we use this constant to compare our entered numbers to. Okay, so the constant that MediZues uses is 87%, which is the number that I achieved once I started using MediZues, and I just put it as the golden standard for everybody to try to hit. If you get over it, beautiful. If you're under it, try to get to 87. All right. So at 87%, you're looking at 1579 as your LTV. And on the right-hand side, you can see the difference year by year of what your commission would look like. 84 or whatever number you put in, you could put in 79 and it's going to change it. But let's just do 84. The reason I want to do 84 is I want to show what a 3% difference looks like, right? Now, for most people, they don't think that 3% is that big. 3%, you can't even see 3%. Well, now you can see it, and this is what it looks like.
Right.
Scroll down and you look at your commissions. What does that look like for the first year? 25,000, 21,000, 17, 14, keeps going down. At the end of 10 years, you're looking at 134,000. For 1 year of production, writing 100 people at an 84% persistency. The same production at 87% persistency is 157. Okay. Now I've done the math on this. That's an 11% increase. So you have an 11% increase without spending any more money on marketing. Right? This is the same amount of production. You're just keeping your people longer.
Right.
Now, let's say, David, okay, I produce 100 policies this year, and I do that, and I produce for another 4 years. So there's 5 years of production in total. So 1 year plus 4 is 5. So maintain production for how many more years? You can see the graph changes, and you're on the up and up for 5 years. After 5 years, you want to start coasting and living off of commissions. Beautiful. And that's why the graph goes down a little bit. If you go to commissions, at the end, you're looking at 674,000 versus 789,000. That's how much money you'll make at the end of 15 years. Okay. So that, I forget what the calculation is for this, but that's another $110,000. And you didn't spend any more money on marketing. You just kept the people that you already had or would otherwise close.
Right. Yeah, hopefully you guys can see the power of this, right? Because this business is about keeping your people on the books. You know, the whole reason you get into Medicare is for this. It's this residual income. And you've got to retain what you sell. It's not enough just to close a deal. Evan and I have met people who are great closers, but not good retainers, you know, and if you're not doing your job to keep, you know, don't sell Medicare. If you are doing your job to retain, then you should pick up this product with MediZues, and just 3% more. I looked at the numbers there, 15 years. That's a 6-figure difference in income.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's probably playing it conservative too. You know, like you should see a substantial difference putting this into effect, especially if you're selling AEP, maybe some replacement plans, you know, like SEPs through the year, you know, because that gets a lot of attention from a lot of agents, right? And this one tool is going to help you out tremendously in keeping what you sell.
Yeah, I've been using it over the past year, and just from an emotional standpoint, you know, going into homes, and now we're doing telesales, speaking with people over the phone. I know that if I close you as a client, that you're not going to leave my book of business without me knowing it. Right. So it just provides that emotional stability and predictability within the business. Because, you know, I wrote 600 plans my first year, but 100 of them fell off the first year. Yep. And so that scared the shit out of me, because I'm like, okay, well, the next 500 that I write, another 100 are going to fall off the books. And I'm like, oh, that just doesn't rub me the right way. And especially having clients that love me and know me and trust me, when they leave, it feels like a mini heartbreak. I mean, it felt that way with life insurance too, but with Medicare, you know, anybody, when they stop being your client, it kind of feels like a mini heartbreak, especially when they ghosted you and didn't tell you that they're leaving to another plan, and then you can't contact them.
Right.
Girl that blocks your number and doesn't tell you until you text her and it's green. Right. Not that I have any experience with that, but yeah, it's making a parallel here.
Right.
Yeah. So do you mind if I just show agents what the actual program looks like?
Yeah, please go for it.
So this is what the dashboard looks like, and this is what you're going to see. So MediZues is compatible with every single CRM on the planet. All you have to have in your CRM are 1, your client's MBI, and 2, your client's date of birth. From there, your CRM is going to integrate with MediZues. We have a tutorial on how to do that. We deep dive on integrations. I'm not going to go over that in this video with David here. But you're going to have your client's MBIs here. I blurred it out so that, you know, it's confidential. Their date of birth, and then you just check this box on the top left-hand corner and you hit fetch data. What that's going to do is it's going to check their Medicare eligibility with CMS, and it's going to spit out the following data in about 5 minutes, which is pretty quick. It's going to spit out their current contract number, their current plan name, and their current enrollment date. So you can see exactly what they have now, and you can see when they signed up. All right. Now, this guy in orange, This is somebody that's leaving.
Right.
So it's going to show, for most people, it's going to show ends on is blank because they don't have a new enrollment. But if they do, then it's going to show the date that it ends on. Then it's going to show the future contract number. I'm just going to scroll. It's going to show the future contract number. It's going to show the future plan name and the future enrollment date. So you know when it started.
Nice.
And you can do a little bit of research on what they're moving to. But Billy Mays, wait, there's more. There's something else that we added to this. So if you keep scrolling right within MediZues, you see this data. All right. You see their first name, last name, address, city, state, zip code. This is all the data that they have on file with CMS. Also, you see their LIS level. So you see L1 100%, L4 25%, and then you see if they have Medicaid or not. And this is all real-time data. So, you can be looking at your clients and be like, hey, they're switching to this, but it's not a D-SNP and they have Medicaid. What's going on here?
Right.
That's just one example. Yeah, this is what it looks like.
Cool, man. That's awesome. So as far as your offerings go, Evan, is this something that's direct to individual agents anywhere, or is this directed at, say, agency and IMO levels? Kind of how are you positioning this as far as your offer goes?
Yeah, both. As an agent, you can sign up. There's a 30-day free trial, no credit card asked. The link is going to be in the description of this YouTube video. Click that, you get right onto the homepage of MediZues. For agencies, so we built an agency LTV calculator, which basically just lets the agency put in their average override. All right. Everybody keeps that close to their chest. I get it. You have different overrides with different carriers, but you put in your override, whether it be on 75, $100, and you can see what the difference is going to make on your bottom line with MediZues. So if you think it's advantageous to have MediZues in the hands of your agents, which you probably should, then you can have your agents purchase it directly. And if you want to get in touch with me, we can give you guys a discount code if you want to onboard your agency. Or if you have an LOA shop, not everybody knows what that means, but LOA shop is where you have a bunch of downline agents that are salaried and you own the book of business. They don't pay for their leads. They don't pay for their marketing. And you want to supply MediZues to them on an individual level, then we have a way to do that where you can buy seats for your agency. Yep.
Awesome. Anything else you want to cover here, Evan? I think this is awesome. I think you've covered this. It's a huge opportunity for anybody out there selling Medicare Advantage. I mean, this is like a no-brainer.
Yeah, the last thing that I'll put in here is, trust and compliance is the biggest hurdle that we had to get over to be able to make this come to fruition. And so the biggest objection that I hear from agents is, I don't feel like sharing my MBIs with another software, and that's understandable. But you got to understand that you're sharing it with your CRM right now. If you have an assistant, you're sharing it with them. You could have your MBIs in your phone, and just so you know, Apple iCloud is not HIPAA compliant. All right, we got HIPAA compliant. We're going through a SOC 2 audit right now, and the whole reason that we were able to get HIPAA compliant super quickly is because we kind of took a shortcut. It's not a shortcut, but we made everything fully encrypted. So what that means is nobody, myself, one of my customer service reps, my developers, my lawyer, nobody within the organization can see your data as an agent. So let's say, David, you have all your data within MediZues and you don't want me seeing it. I can't. If somebody put a gun to my head and said, hey, show me David's client data, I couldn't do it. They're going to have to shoot, dude. And we just did that so that it'd be simple. Now, there is a downside to that, because if somebody reaches out to our customer services and is like, hey, I need help with this thing over here, we can't help them because we can't see anything. So you can reach out to us and be like, hey, I need you to check this. Sorry, man, you're shit out of luck. Right. You're gonna have to watch one of our YouTube tutorial videos and figure it out, so we can't see anything. So it simplifies things. Right. I did it so that agents feel comfortable using it, and also we don't want the liability, because we're 256-bit encrypted. If you can hack us, you can hack a bank, and you can hack Humana, which are much better people to go and hack. So if you do that, go after them. But if you go after us, you ain't getting shit, because we can't get shit. The only way that somebody could get your client's MBIs is if they go into your computer and hack your network privately. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, if you want to start this program with MediZues, the link is below. You'll see it in the comment section or in the description box right beneath the video. And you can go to, what's the website? MediZues.com, right?
Yep.
And that's Zeus, not Zeus, like, Greek god or whatever. Zeus.
Listen, Merriam-Webster, we're coming for you. We're going to change the way that Zeus is spelled.
Yeah.
Close. Close.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here, Evan. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you. Take care.